Welcome to the Halfass'd podcast, where we discuss all the things you never knew you needed to know. I'm your host Yoshi with my hetero life mate Ray. Thanks for tuning in. Let's start things off with the topic of the day. So the topic of the day is World War III-ish, right? Like World War III light going on over in Russia. So evidently, these brilliant Russian strategists have decided to use Chernobyl as a that Chernobyl. You know, the one with the nuclear meltdown.
Yeah. Where you can't, really live at.
Yeah. So they use the red forest, which is red because of all the radiation. They use that to dig trenches to like hold Chernobyl, I guess. And evidently, like there's like buses of dead soldiers leaving that area now. I'm like, I wonder why. Acute radiation poisoning. Yeah.
Geniuses.
Yeah.
Love it.
I'm like, don't they isn't there who's the general running this? Like is there some Russian general that's just like, hey guys, let's just go invade Ukraine. Okay, what's in Ukraine? Well, there's Chernobyl. We should get that back. We can do something with that. But it's like radiated hot zone, right? Like why do we want to go there? And I was like, oh, we should go there and dig trenches. Like dig trenches, really? You're gonna dig into the ground where there's 20 years of radiation soaking in there?
It was agreed upon by Commander General President Despot Putin. So that's just kind of how it works.
Yeah, that guy's brain is a bag of cats. But I tell you, I think it's because he's terminally ill. I think we're seeing all this crap because he's terminally ill. He got the thing, he got the big C, or how much he hated on gays in Russia. He probably got the big AIDS.
Right.
It's like when thou doth protest too much, it's like, oh man, you always hear about those the super evangelical guys with the toe tapping at the airport. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Wow. It's
always those guys that are in there. But yeah, so I read about that today. I was like, holy cow, that's stupid. So, the world never, like, what was it? Albert Einstein said there's only two things that are infinite in the universe. There's only two things that are infinite, the universe and human stupidity. And I'm not sure about the universe.
Wow.
Wow. Yeah. So what do you got? What do you got for your top story today?
Well, it's an update on the whole gas rebate stuff that we spoke about, that Governor Newsom wants to do here in good old California.
Okay, so what's he gonna do? Print money? Oh wait, he doesn't have a printer.
No, he doesn't have a printer, but he is looking to get a printer to print the money.
He's got a 3D printer farm he's got 3D printers, printing 3D printers that he's gonna sell the 3D printers so he can buy more 3D printers to print more 3D printers to sell those printers.
He's gonna do that and keep flipping that, and that's how he's gonna have
flipping it. Yeah. Okay. All right.
That's exactly how it's gonna work. But so what he proposed now that it's kind of out and open, he actually spoke about it finally. He wants to give Californian drivers with a registered vehicle $400 worth of debit cards.
Okay.
Because he says Californian people pay $300 a year in taxes on the gas, so he feels that kind of makes up for it. Which, well, I'll continue. So this is what he wants to do.
You want to cite your source? Do you have a website you want to plug or anything? Well,
this is from the horse's mouth.
From the horse's mouth. Okay.
Yeah. So this was I was watching him on
okay, so
ABC.
you were the direct report. Okay.
Yeah. So this is what I watched with him on ABC when he actually came out with this information.
Okay.
And so that's what he's looking to do. Now, mind you, every registered vehicle would have access to this, including EV. which to me doesn't
That-
make sense. But we'll come back to that.
Okay.
We're gonna put a pin in that
All
because I can rant all day about that.
Okay.
But we're gonna put a pin in that right there.
All right.
Okay?
All right.
So let's just remember that. So what the opposition is saying now, he has opposition on both Republican and Democratic side.
Oh, wow. They agree on his stupidity. Okay.
So, well, I mean, they stupid begets stupid on this one. So,
okay.
What the Republicans are saying now, part of it, I can kind of roll with.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So, what the Republicans want to do, which I don't fully agree with, they just want to suspend the gas tax. Which, yeah, that'd be great, but the gas tax is 51 cents. So instead of paying $5.90 a gallon, we're paying $5.40 a gallon.
Okay.
But we're still paying over $5.
Yeah. It's not, I mean, it's a dent, but it's not. I mean,
it's a scratch that got in the paint. Like if it rains, it will rust. But gotcha. I wouldn't call that a dent. But but still, that's 10%, right? Give or take. So, so they want to do that. Now, I'm also reading now on the San Diego Times.
Okay.
That this part they didn't speak about at that time, but they also want to Republicans expand domestic energy supplies and permanently reduce income taxes on everyday Californians. That one right there, I can roll with that.
You mean the highest tax state in the union wants to reduce taxes?
Yeah.
Hey, other states seem to be doing better with less taxes. Why don't we give it a shot? I
mean, you got Texas and Nevada that have zero state tax, and they are doing very well. They have a surplus every year. I mean, Nevada we can't count because they have, the casinos and all. Yeah, but Texas, and they have a surplus every year. Mm-hmm. But, they also got to deal with their brand of stupid as well. Yeah. But and then
they also don't have a grid that works. But then again, neither does California, right? So
yeah, absolutely.
What are we
went through that stuff that Texas went through. We'll be in the same situation, probably worse.
Probably. Well, we're in that same situation every time there's a mudslide or a fire
absolutely.
or a earthquake or whatever. Yeah.
So now with the Democratic side that's opposing this, they are stating that they want, instead of $400 debit card, they want to do a $200 debit card.
Okay.
Based on income.
So it's a scale or something? Like if you make less, you get more?
If you make more than $250,000 of combined income in a household, you would not qualify.
Well, okay. Well, that just seems stupid because everybody.
Even if you have an EV car, you would still qualify as long as you make under $250,000. See how we're going back to that pin kind of? But we're still going to keep it up there.
Well, I don't like the EV car in this situation. The EVs don't. What are they going to do with a debit card? You know what it should be? You know what? Like, give me a gift card to freaking Chevron or Shell or Arco or something like that. Like, give me a gift card that can only be. And then the EV guy's like, well, I can't use this. Well, sell it. I don't care.
Well, they shouldn't get it. Like, they just shouldn't get it in general. That's like my whole point of that. Like, you do not use gas. Mm-hmm. So why are you getting a gas credit for something you do not use?
Yeah.
Now, if they want to say we get a gas credit and they get a smaller electric credit.
Yeah. Or they get
I'm cool with that.
They get a gift card to the Edison bill, right?
Yeah. I'll be cool with that. But for them to get a $400 debit card, meaning they can use it anywhere, for something they should be using for gas, and yet they don't have, they don't use gas.
How are you gonna sit there and say, oh, we need this?
Yeah, how do you justify that in? So like, which is, I'm surprised I'm about to say this, but well, I guess I'm not too surprised how things been lately. I don't agree with the Democrats' version. Now, half of it, okay, if you want to say by income, I'm cool with that. Okay. I can roll with that because it hits people's pockets differently, but I just feel anybody who owns a vehicle and they have to put gas in their car, believe me, even millionaires are not trying to spend that much money on their
yeah. I mean, I don't think you should be punished if you're doing well. You know what I mean? Like, right. I don't think you should be like, I don't think we should go out of your way to punish people who are doing well. I don't think they should be going out of their way to reward them either. Right. But you know what I mean? Like, but I would say the gas pump is universal in this regard. You know what I mean? Everybody's like, dude, $6 a gallon. Like, no matter how much you make, that still hurts. You know what I mean? That still hurts.
Yeah, because I'll be thinking if I was this multi-millionaire investor, it's like, yo, I understand that it's like $60 more than I normally would, but that $60 I could have invested and made an investment in and had it pay me.
Right.
Instead of me using it to put this stuff in my car.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and so you know, like I said, I vehemently, I completely disagree with anybody with an EV getting this credit. I have nothing against EVs. I deal with it. I understand it's the future, and I'm all about the future and helping us progress into the future in a brighter future, possibly. You know, but you know, it's just it either makes sense or it doesn't. This doesn't make sense.
It doesn't make sense. It doesn't. It doesn't pass the sniff test
at all.
It stinks.
You know, and so, but I like the initial thought of the $400 debit card. Now, granted, do I think that's enough? No, but I mean, money is a limited resource.
Not if you're a politician. That's unlimited.
Oh, no. Excuse me. Money to pay out to citizens is a limited.
It's not.
There's a very limited resource for them to pay out
for them to pay out. But
yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
when they want to take the money,
it's unlimited. Like, oh, you only make $78 grand. You make $78 grand a year. Oh yeah, you could pay this $300,000 bill. That's cool. You could pay this.
Okay,
we want it tomorrow.
Taxes. All right, so get this. So I just read this recently. If you are a single person and you make $100,000 a year, you don't start getting paid until April 15th. From January 1st to December 31st, you do not start getting actually taking home your money until April 15th.
Why? Because of taxes?
Because of taxes. Because they are taking 108 days, or however many days that works out to be, 108 days of your pay straight off. Like,
wait, what?
Yeah.
Wait, is this new?
No. But it's just in a percentage wise, right? So if you push all the, like, so obviously they don't take.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
You see what I'm saying? Like,
I got you.
So just think about it like that. Like, you gotta work until April 15th, ironically, right? to even see your first like actual dollar that you get to keep.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. That's crazy.
I mean, and that's some bullshit.
I mean, that makes sense. That's what that's 35% of the year. So I mean,
exactly what it is.
That makes sense.
Yep. So it's like, you know,
what perspective?
Right. Yeah. Put that in perspective. Right. It's like, hold up. Listen. I'm gonna need you to work, but I'm gonna need you to work. Let's say till middle April for free. Like, what? How's that work?
But it's like, don't think of it for free. It's just.
That's your fair share.
We're not giving
that's your fair share.
We're not giving you any money until you pay us first.
Yeah.
But it's not free. You're still getting paid, but it's just coming to me.
Yep.
Yeah. No, I'm not a pimp. No, that's not what a pimp is. I'm not providing you housing. Not at all. You gotta fare on your own, but I need my money.
It's like, don't worry, I'll cover. I'll take care of you. I'll just hold your money for you.
I will take care of you. You just won't realize it till after April 15th.
Oh man, I mean, but just saying that out loud, you're like, the fuck? How's that work? How's that make any sense?
That's true. Good Lord, that's that's one hell of a perspective to look at it. You know. Yeah. To look at it that way, that's gross.
Right. It's just not right. Like, it's just not right, man. Like, you can't. How you gonna? Anyway. I mean, we could talk about taxes forever. So
I don't know, man. Yeah, like, it just feels like the government's like sometimes just pimping you and pimp slapping you around. You know. Speaking of pimp slapping.
Oh yeah.
Let's talk about Mr. Will Smith. The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, or more
like the Fresh Prince of being a cuck.
Oh my God! Okay. I don't even need to bring up what the story is. Everybody knows it. Everybody's seen it. But yes, on national TV, Will Smith slapped the shit out of Chris Rock. Okay, so we're there. So
yeah, just to bring everybody up to speed.
Right? Okay. So honestly,
Uh-huh.
I feel bad for Will Smith, and and
Mm.
and I do because like if this was just like a girlfriend,
Mm.
like that. Oh, I can't stand this woman. Like if anybody knows, like Black China, she's
Oh,
this
was Ray J banging that one, or no, that was the
Rob
one of the
Kardashian.
Kardashians.
Yeah, and the way
Yeah,
she did the
Ray J was always tangentially related to that somehow.
yeah, to the Kardashians. You're never
Yeah,
lying.
yeah.
But anyway, if it was something like this, like just some girlfriend, some side piece, somebody
Mm.
that's not, you're not married to and all that, I
Mm-hmm.
wouldn't feel bad for him because
Mm-hmm.
you have a choice to leave that situation. Like
Mm-hmm.
me personally, what I feel about marriage, I believe once you marry someone, that's
Mm-hmm.
it. Like
Yeah.
it says your vows
Yeah.
through better or worse, you're gonna be together, death do us part. That means you are with this person till you freaking die. And if you believe in a higher power, you're
Mm-hmm.
making this promise to that higher power. So even if you divorce in this life, yeah, you're divorced,
Mm.
but that higher power doesn't see you as divorced. So you're
Mm.
committing adultery every time you're banging someone else.
Mm.
That's how I see it. Not everybody sees it like that anymore because marriage now is basically like a hyped up boyfriend girlfriend.
Mm. Right,
Nowadays.
right, right.
So I take this seriously, and this is why I feel bad for Will Smith because he's married to this woman, and this woman has demasculated him. This woman has done so much stuff to him in the public eye, and
Mm-hmm.
this
Mm-hmm.
was just from all the jokes, all the memes about the whole August Aslina thing,
Yeah.
all the things call him a cuck, you're like, no, just like you did. All these things that this man has to hear on a daily
Yeah.
basis, testing his manhood. It was a breaking point. Like, yeah, he laughed at the joke. He made this joke, whatever, about G.I. Jane 2 because old girl's bald and she's going through what's the name of the issue she has or something.
Alopecia.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Her hair falling out, things of that nature.
I mean, okay.
So
So,
real quick. So
okay.
with the whole hair falling out and everything, and so I understand maybe in her eye the joke was in bad taste, and maybe in other people's eyes it was too. But it's they're a comedian, that's what they do.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
Will laughed it off, and then he saw that she rolled her eyes, and basically he had to kind of like stand up for his wife. I get it. I wouldn't have gone up and slapped the man over that. Especially since
conversation after the fact, right?
I mean, I probably would have on camera be like, keep my wife's name out your fucking mouth. I would have did that part, but I wouldn't have gone and slapped the man. But it's just like I feel for him because this was a turning point. This was the boiling point where it's like, fuck, I'm tired of looking like this. I'm tired of looking like this. Everybody call me a bitch and a cuck and all that. So he had to do his thing, and you could tell when he apologized after I got his award, he was emotional. So I feel for him for that reason and that reason because that's his wife. As much as I don't like how Jada is, I used to love me some Jada Pinkett. Now she is like public enemy number 3 because there's 2 other bitches worse. But but go ahead, bro. Go ahead.
Yeah. So all right. I still think it's staged.
Yeah, because he did kind of smile after the slap, didn't he?
Right. Well, I mean, but then again, like a wince and a smile look very similar, right? But
no. Will Smith. After
he was smiling.
He turned around. He had like a little grin, and it went away real quick.
Yeah.
And I agree with you. I think it's a little staged too because he put his chin out for it.
Dude. Okay. So I mean, I'm not a conspiracy theorist. Okay. I'm not. But let's look at the facts. Okay. Nobody's watching the Oscars. Ain't nobody watching the Oscars. Like the viewership has been down millions of viewers every single year for like the last 5-10 years. Like nobody's watching. I didn't even know it was on because I don't care. Like, it's a giant circle jerk for actors. Okay. They're just glad handing each other, the movies that make it at the box office don't win at the thing or the like it's just a giant circle jerk. Like it's just, they're all beating off into ceiling fans and with their mouths open. You know what I mean? Like it's just
I just got that picture. Oh, disgusting. Okay.
I mean, right? So, I mean, that's what it is. But now what? We've been talking about the goddamn Oscars for like 3 days.
I know,
It's
bro.
Thursday. Okay,
This has been the
nobody's
longest.
talked about the Oscars like this much in 20 years. I swear to God.
And the memes have been beautiful, by the way.
Oh, hilarious. And that's what I'm saying. Like, it's like, okay, you see all that, and it's like, what did it take? It's like some marketing genius was like, how are we gonna make people talk about the Oscars on Monday? You know, like, how are we gonna do it? I know. Let's get two black guys to slap the shit out of each other.
Well, you know what, bro? I'm not gonna lie to you though. Like, as a black man, I was upset at the fact that, like, bro, like, we our actions are like, man, I love always coming back to credit. Our actions are like credit. One mistake sets you back 10 years.
Yep. Damn straight.
You know what I mean? Like, we have to be so careful with our actions. I don't give a damn what stage you're at. I don't care how much money you make. I don't care how many people of whatever nationality or color like shit. The only person who can get away with dumb shit over and over again until people just like, fuck it, I'm done with it, is OJ. That's it. That's it. The rest of us, no, bro, we don't get
OJ. He didn't even get I mean, he got away with it for like 15 years or whatever.
Bro, he went to jail for trying to steal his own shit back. That's why he went to jail. He didn't go to jail at all for murder, bro. They just really did his ass in. It's like, we're going to give you the max that we can give on this because we know you killed her. We know you did.
He still only got he got 15 years and then he only spent 9 or something like that, right? Yeah. You know,
like I said, only OJ, bro. Only OJ can get away with this shit. But the rest of us black folk, nah, bro. Like, we're looked under a microscope in the public eye. It's like, I bet you they gonna act funny.
You know, and basically, and Chris Rock said it. He's like, you know, being black is always being short $5. It's always owing $5, and being white is like always having $10 in your pocket.
Man, it's so true, man.
It's true.
Even in this day and age, people don't want to believe it, and the people who don't believe it typically who are not in my people's shoes.
Well, so here's the thing. Here's I'm gonna put it into like. So I'm half white and half other.
Other. You're not gonna claim it, huh?
No, not right now. No. So, but I'm gonna say it in words that will resonate with white folk. All right.
Okay.
It's this reaction. Oh, so a white guy acts up. Oh man, he was having a bad day. He was having a bad day. He was having a bad day, right? Then it's like, if black folk does it, here's what they're saying. Figures.
Absolutely.
That's exactly.
Oh my God, that was perfect.
Exactly through their head.
Absolutely, bro. Absolutely.
And when I say it out loud, I'm like, damn, am I racist for having that thought?
No, but it's true. You know what I mean? Look. The fact that you recognize that means you're not racist. Yeah. You know what I mean? The fact you recognize that and you're able to speak on it. Yeah. You know what I mean? It just shows like you're aware of how things are. You know what I mean?
Because it's like, whoa, what the fuck is that? Like, did I really have that thought? Like, you know, it's like, but okay, now to be fair, there's some ghetto ass shit that goes down, and it's like, oh, I think we played this game before, right? Guess the race.
Oh my God, guess what race it is?
Yeah.
And I gotta give first before we go there, I gotta give all rights and love to the Breakfast Club. Charlemagne the God. He has this thing called when he does Donkey of the Day, and he explains the story, and at the end he's like, guess what race it is? And they all guess if they're white, black, Hispanic, whatever. You know what I mean? So it's pretty funny. It's a funny little thing they do. But go ahead.
Oh no, I mean, well, we've just played this game before, you know, off air, and you know, it was like that time the guy like legitimately was like trying to start a fight with me.
At
the big box electronics store. I'm not saying their name because they're not a sponsor. They could be. Give us a call.
Yeah.
Could sponsor our show. We can get your name plugged here. All 8 of our listeners. 9. Sorry. I just introduced this to this podcast to another couple people. So nine listeners, hopefully. But yeah, it was like the guy who's like he's like cussing at me, and I'm on the phone. I'm not even paying attention to him, and I'm like I leave the bathroom, and he's like, you couldn't hold the door for me. And I'm like, I used my foot to do it because I didn't want to touch the handle. This is mid COVID, right? And dude's like, well, you motherfucker, you start cussing me out and behind me and everything. I'm like, hold up, like what's going on? And of course I started talking shit because you know me, like I'm like, I'm not gonna fight this guy, but I will talk.
Yeah, this man does not like stupid, y'all. Just to let you know.
No.
And I tend to agree with him. And when we say stupid, we're not talking about somebody who is ignorant.
Willful ignorance. No,
we're not talking about that. Yeah, we're talking about willful ignorance. You choose not to know.
Yes. Yeah. And so like he was like just pissed off, like, and he's wearing a Yosemite Park, a shirt, wearing a gold chain, following me out of the bathroom and cussing me up and down, and he's like, yeah, you better walk away. I'm like, what is this guy's problem, and of course I'm talking shit, I'm just like, yeah, you better walk away. I think I said that as you, and he like started following me, and I'm like, yeah, you better keep walking away. He's following me. He's like,
as you following me.
No, I'm like, you better stop backing up, man. You better come towards me. Bring it. And I'm literally walking away from while I'm antagonizing him, of course, right? Because I just can't shut up, right? That's my problem. And so then this guy is like legitimately, we get to the front of the store and we're just yelling at each other back and forth, and security gets in between me, and then I'm in line to check out because I'm buying something, and then this guy, and I start yelling, I'm like, yeah, you just better walk away, go to your woman, Yosemite Sam, because he's wearing the shirt, and I can't possibly not pass that up, right? And he's just like, what the does that mean? I'm like, you look like Yosemite Sam with that shirt, and all that. I'm like, of course, this has nothing to do with anything, right? It's just me just trying to talk for whatever reason. Like, I'm about to get my ass kicked. Like, that's what's gonna happen. Right? But of course he's not, right? It's like he's like 50 some odd years old, right? Like, I'm like, dude, you're not gonna throw down with me in the middle of this freaking big box electronics store. Like, you're just let it go. Like, whatever I did, I'm sorry. Like, I didn't hold the door for you, but what the hell, man? I opened the door with one of those like kick foot things.
Yeah.
You pull it open. I'm like, what am I supposed to do?
That's too much for a door, man. Jesus
right?
Christ.
I'm not holding the door for this guy. Like, you just manage yourself. So anyways, all right, you want to guess the race? Oh, you already know.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, it was a black guy.
Yeah. And when I automatically assumed white dude because of the attire.
Yeah. Right.
When he did it, and it was like black, and was, oh my God. And what's funny? When you said that, I'm like, when incidents like that happen, and I get anybody can do that, white dude, whoever. But it was like, dude, like, brother, come on, man. Don't put us in a better light.
So you had the same reaction. You had the same reaction. You were like, it's not figures. It's
more like, do better. Fuck, man. Like, you're making us look bad.
Right. It's like, we already do enough shit to make us look bad.
And I'm sorry, any brothers or sisters that listen to this and thinking whatever they're thinking about me saying this, but let's be 100 with ourselves. We know. I don't give a damn how prideful you are, and like, I don't care what people think of me. That's great and all, but as a group, it doesn't take much for people to look at us in a bad way as a group off of one interaction, because a lot of people don't understand, especially brothers and sisters. There's not a lot of us in comparison to everyone else in the States and also in other parts of the world. You know what I mean? Like, when I was stationed in Europe, other than the fact that if I lived there, their only interaction with black folks other than me living there would have been a random passersby, but somebody that was in the military, the United States military, or they're close to a U.S. post, or some sort of movie star or like, entertainer. That's it. Like
Also,
you,
like
you
a
know,
lot of like maybe like some African
yeah,
migrant
yeah. I was
workers or
just about to
something
say,
like that. Yeah.
or like Africans, but not
Yeah.
like
Not
you
like
know, a Black Americans. You know what I mean?
right.
Like it's just so what we do in public strikes far for us as a race altogether.
Mm.
You know, and it's kind of like as a Black person, you got to look at things as if you're at work, right? You're at work, you're
Dude,
wearing a
that's so
shirt that
true.
representing your name or your
You
work
gotta.
name. You have
It's
to
like you
act a
gotta be
certain
on
way in
point all
public.
the time, huh?
Yeah, you got to work. You got to act a certain way in public
Shit.
because if it comes back, oh, this person acting ass, and you're part of that company could fire you.
That's a good point.
You know what I mean? And as a Black person, you got to look at that for the entire race. Now, if you don't care for yourself, I get it. You know what I mean? It's like
Mm-hmm.
I understand that. You know, you have your right to be like, I don't care what people think about anything because I'm about me and or whatever, or I have more things to worry about in my own life. I completely
Or like, is that the kind of like I shouldn't have to dance kind of
yeah,
mentality?
yeah.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah, I
and
get
I
it.
completely understand anybody thinking like that.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's just as for me, I rather represent in a public, especially in a public a setting,
Mm-hmm.
as we're not these always angry, want to fight everybody, blah 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 type people. Like you can come to us and we can talk sense with you.
Mm-hmm.
I can speak to you just like how you would speak to your other counterpart of your race or whatnot.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So you don't have to think that, oh man, he's about to be ghetto or he's about to be loud and make
Kind of.
comments. That's what a lot of people think.
Would
And
this
it's
be a
sad.
fair assessment? Like it's like act like equals, so we'll be treated like equals.
Right? You know what I mean? Like
Mm-hmm.
that's a fair assessment to say, you know. But the thing is, when you look at it that way, it's like, well, this is the culture, so I'm
Yeah.
acting as an equal in my culture, so I should be treated as an equal in general. You know what I mean? But it's like, and I understand that we have our own culture and our ways of doing things. You know, like when I'm with my people, yeah, I'll get loud and shit because that's
Mm-hmm.
just I'm comfortable. You know,
Yeah.
doing my own thing. But you know, it's just just in public eye. I've just been across too many times, too many conversations with people, especially
Mm-hmm.
being out in different countries
Mm-hmm.
where they're like, I had no idea that Black people were just chill.
Mm.
Because what I see on the news
Wow.
is violent people. Like I had a roommate come to me, like said, and this here in the States, actually here in
Shit.
freaking Orange County. I had a roommate come up to me and was like, hey, I gotta be honest with you, I'm not comfortable with you in the house.
What?
And I was like, why is that? He's like, because I've just never really been around Black people.
Okay.
Now, 10 years ago, me,
Mm.
oh my God, I would have got straight ignorant.
Mm.
I am not gonna lie. I wouldn't try to understand where he's coming from.
It's
I
like
wouldn't have been like trying to put my
and see red and go, right?
No, like what? Did you just call me an N-word? It's like no, no, I heard you. You know what I mean? Like it would have been all crazy. But as you mature and you learn to reason more, or even at the fact that you just have more to lose and it's just act stupid.
Mm-hmm.
You learn to have these conversations. It's a difficult conversation. I'm not gonna lie. You're gonna get offended. You're gonna be bothered. But to me, in order to move forward and push and help people see that, look, we're just like you. We're just like you. We ain't no different. I mean, the only difference is really, besides the color of our skin, is the way we're treated. But we're just like you. Like we have highs, we have lows. We have people that have drug addictions on our side, just like how white will have people with drug addictions. Yeah. I mean, got the whole what is that? Lord, I forgot. But anyway, the whole drug pandemic, the opioid crisis. Yeah, thank you, opioid crisis and all that stuff. So like we all go through the same thing. Mm-hmm. We all have issues with family, or not issues with family. We all have people that might have money in our family. We have people who don't have money in our family. We have people. All of us are pretty much. We all are the same. It's just we are culturally different. That's really it. So so having those conversations with these people, and like having a conversation with him, just having him understand, it's like, dude, I understand what you see on TV, but what positivity do you see on TV on the news? Like the negativity sells.
So so in that situation, so first of all, You didn't think I was gonna let you get away with saying mature, right? Like
Yeah,
that's
I
that
know.
word is mature.
Mature,
Okay,
man.
listen.
Mature.
No, it's not mature. Mature is what you say when you're listen. I'm going on my tour bus. All right, like
That's funny. Mature bus.
mature bus. Yeah, yeah. Mature my ass. Get out of here with that shit.
Oh man.
Listen. You were talking about culture and all that. And you threw that in there. I was like, he knows I'm gonna roast him for that shit, right? Like,
Bro, that's my culture, bro.
nah,
Just
it
kidding,
ain't.
just kidding. No, it's not. Not at all.
That's okay. That's okay. Anyway, so what happened with the guy? Like, so I don't think you told me the story before. So what did he do?
No, so we we sat down
Hmm.
and talked, and he did it at like the wrong time too. Like we're all chilling, we're all having our little drink on and everything, and he just comes in, just says that. You know what I mean? It's
Wow. Like putting
wow.
that out there.
Yeah. It's like, yo, I know y'all chilling and shit, but let me just tell you, I'm not coming from the house with you. I mean, he didn't
What?
come aggressive like that, but it just the way it was seemed that way.
So now you lived with this guy?
Yeah, he was a roommate.
Oh shit.
And he was how long was he was in the house maybe like a month or two maybe before
Oh
this
shit.
conversation
Okay.
happened. And I always spoke to him like I speak to everybody.
Mhm.
I get along with pretty much anybody.
Yeah.
So he said it, and I was like, okay, I just asked him why, but the people that were with me, they were upset.
Mm.
They're like, what the fuck, I was like, no, chill.
Yeah.
And I needed time to process it. So
Yeah.
my other roommate, he's the big homie, man. That this dude is like my brother.
Okay.
So he started having a conversation with him, basically asking why and all that, why
Mhm.
I process it, because I didn't want to just, so I was processing what was happening.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And, he started asking like, well, why do you feel that way? And basically he brought up what he sees on the news, and the fact he hasn't had any actual interaction with black people, like where he lived, it wasn't really any.
Wow.
So, and that is more common than people will say. It really is.
Okay.
So, he gets this information out of him. Then I finally start speaking. That's like, so what do you see on the news about us?
Mhm.
He's like, thugs and just want to, make money as fast as you can, and baby daddies and this, that. I mean, like all the negative stereotypes.
Wow. This dude like okay, so he like saw like one episode of like a fucking Hill Street Blues or something and was like,
No,
oh,
I mean,
that's it.
it's just what he sees in the
Okay.
news, man.
That's a good point. Okay. Yeah.
Now, like I said, the news isn't sitting there saying, "Hey, look at this Negro here. Look how
Yeah,
he is."
but
No,
it is
but
there is
like,
a message.
it's
There's a
always
narrative there.
right. It's always a depiction of something negative
Yeah.
with us, And the same thing with Hispanics; they do that with them as well.
Mhm.
But so I just had to break it down to him and just explain to him, like, look, man, and just like I said earlier,
Mhm.
we all have highs and lows.
Mhm.
I'm pretty sure some people in your family that's on some drugs or something like that.
Mhm.
Well, yeah. He's like, same here. I know the same. And then I was like, I know you probably know some people in your family who has money. It's like, yeah. I said, yeah, me too. I have 2 doctors in my family.
Mhm.
And it's like, and I said, you have a degree? He's like, yeah, so do I. So I was just basically showing him all the examples
Mhm.
and things of how we're alike, and that just because you see this negative stuff doesn't mean everybody's that way.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because I told him this too. It's like, if I was to look at you, then I'd be like, well, by how you look and what the news always speaks of, you could be a serial killer. You're a white dude in your mid-30s.
Yeah. Yeah. You got a
That's serial killer.
mustache. Yeah.
Porn
star or serial killer, either way, it's one of the other.
And that's and I was telling him that stuff, and he was just like really understanding everything. He's like, well, and then he apologized and said, I just didn't know, but what you did kind of made me feel more comfortable, blah blah blah. And I still spoke to the dude after. Now, dude was kind of weird. I'm not gonna lie, he's a weird one. I'm not gonna put his business out there, but he was definitely weird.
Gotcha.
But he was an okay guy. And I would speak to him, every time I saw him, just to make him feel comfortable and shit,
Mhm.
Did I have minced words with him before? Yeah. But I don't think it ever did anything that like shook him to the point like, oh my God, he's going to kill me, nothing like that, but we did have to have some words a couple times, but other than that, it was cool.
Okay. Oh man, yeah, that's shit, dude. Yeah, you didn't tell me that story before, so that was
Yeah.
definitely interesting.
Yeah, some of the people who are listening to this are gonna be like, wow, yeah, I remember that night because
Oh, okay.
they're listeners. Yeah.
Okay. Well, one of our 8 or 9.
Yeah.
One of our 9. Okay.
Two of our 8.
2 of our 8. Okay. Yeah. Oh man. Oh, at least we have them. I mean,
Right.
Um, but yeah, so and I've told you this before, but I really do think that the racism that we see. Now, don't get me wrong, racism definitely exists, but some cultures are more racist than others, and we definitely have different cultures in this country.
You know what though? When you say that some cultures are more racist than others, you're right. You're absolutely right about that.
You know what it is, and
Yeah.
I mean it's like to say America is more racist now than ever before, and I'm like, it's not.
Well, that's not ever
That's
before. No.
that's absolutely
It's
untrue.
still more racist than it should be though.
Oh, absolutely. And absolutely. Like obviously we want to get to zero, but the problem is racism in any way needs to be called out. So
Yeah.
if you hate white people because they're white, that's racism. If you hate Asians because they're Asian, that's
That's
racism.
racism.
You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
if you hate somebody because of their skin that they have no listen, I would like to not call it racism. I would like to call it like fucking Bob or something. Sorry to all the Bobs out there who are listening. But I
You
like to call
racist
it,
Bobs.
but it's just Bob because it's not just racism. Because what it is anything that somebody can't control in their life, if you hate them for it, that's just ignorant. Like that's just stupid.
Oh well,
Like,
yeah, but racism is based on ignorance.
well, of course, but I
Yeah.
guess what I'm saying is like it's like because you can like some people are like, oh, I don't mess with people who are left-handed. Like, dude, they have no control over that shit. You know what I mean?
Well,
Like,
learn
it's
about
stupid.
what you're right then. Shit. No.
Learn to write right.
Weirdos. Just kidding. Just kidding.
But you see what I'm saying, right? Like, it's like like just anything that's uncontrollable, right? Like the fact that some we hear about those Karen stories and all that where it's like, oh man, and they're so entitled little pieces of shit or whatever, and they're just like they hate people for existing, right? And it's like, or they hate their kids, right? You hear about that all the time where they're like, you need to grow up and blah blah blah, be an adult. It's like, these kids didn't ask to be born. You brought them into the world. Now they got to be adults. You don't want to take care of them. Like, what the hell's wrong with you? Like, like shit like that. It's all kind of this. It's all a similar mindset. It's all based on that willful ignorance that we talk about. As if we're bringing this shit full circle, like that willful ignorance. I hate that. And if I hate, wait, are we doing like that raceception right now where I hate ignorance and ignorance hates me? Like, are we just going in a loop?
Maybe, yeah.
Help me
Yeah.
out here.
That's what it sounds like. You've just been incepted, man.
Oh man,
Wow.
shit, dude. Oh man.
Yeah, man. Nah, it's just, yeah, the world's just crazy, man. And there's all kinds of wrong with it. And, but there's all kinds of beautiful and great with it too. So we just got to, as a people, as a nation, as a group, as humans, we just got to make the best of what we have and consistently improve upon such, and I feel as long as we do that, we can all come together as a people, man.
And along that note of peace and unity and all that great bullshit, I would like to introduce everyone to a new segment of our show called Tool Corner, where we talk about all the tools of the day. So, but whether it's from like actual tools or like figurative tools, like O.J. Simpson, as we mentioned earlier, he's a pretty big tool. So just depending on how I'm feeling that day, our tool corner may consist of random shit that I bought at Home Depot. Oh shit.
And it's gonna be Milwaukee, by the way.
So I gotta bleep that out.
Yeah.
They're still not a sponsor. But maybe they will be. Who knows? Maybe I'll leave that in. We'll see.
I know who should be. Red and white colors.
Red and white. Crips? No, Bloods.
I was about to say, you about to get shot just saying that.
All right.
No, man. I can't say the brand because
I know.
they're not
Oh, man.
even though they should be.
So I'm gonna give them some free sponsorship or free plugs right now. Listen, I love Milwaukee. Milwaukee brands are awesome. I love the color. I love everything that they do. There are some things that I hate, and there are some stupid things that they do. So I'm going to talk about Tool Corner. So right now, I'm in the middle of starting a newer job. And I've got to look. I got a truck, and I got to fill it up with tools, and company pays for some, doesn't pay for others. But there's certain things I need for a job site. One of those things I need on a job site is either a giant freaking battery or a large generator or a smallish generator. So I worked on a
Are you
job
serious?
site. Yeah. So I worked at a job site overnight. Last week. God, it was only last week. Holy shit. Where I worked from 10 to 6, 3 days in a row.
10
So
p.m. to 6
10 p.m.
a.m.
to 6 a.m. Yeah. So, yeah, it sucked. Trying to shift over energy drinks, coffee, lots of, and then naps throughout the day. It sucked, I gotta say. I used to do that when I was 20. Yeah, not 20 anymore. So it's a different ball game. So anyways, but one of the things that I noticed on the job site is that some of the guys in the trucks had generators to set up lights and set up all these things. So it's like, the quicker you are to be able to be the guy with the answers, the quicker you are to be set to job sites that are, better, that pay better or bigger jobs, that sort of thing. So, so I'm like, okay, well, let me start looking at generators. And of course, there's always the Harbor Freight, $5.99, so cheap. It's $5.99 for the generator and then $599 for gas for the generator. So it's like, I'm not sure which one.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. Yeah, that is a whole nother car note there.
Yeah, that's exactly right. So, anyway, so I was looking at a generator, right? And I was like, well, hey, listen, it's 2022. We work in alternative fuels in the automotive industry. We got batteries. We can get a big honking battery and just use that for the night. What's a lamp draw, right? What's a job site light, a couple of light stands. Well, how much does that draw really, right? Like, it's not that much. Maybe 100 watts an hour, who knows, right? Maybe 1,000 watts an hour, who cares? But just it can't be that much, right? Well, they're all LEDs, so they don't really pull that much. Anyway,
right.
So I was looking at it and I'm like, okay, cool. What's Milwaukee got? Because, I'm a Milwaukee fanboy. Not going to lie. Milwaukee can please sponsor this show and give me free stuff.
There's nothing left to give him. He has everything. He's bought your catalog twice.
Free stuff. And Ray can talk about it. That's fine.
Golly.
Anyway, so I look it up and they got this generator. Okay, so it's supposed to be a job site replacement, and it uses here, let me look it up exactly. It uses their big honking batteries.
So you end up buying a battery and a generator?
Let me finish. One second, I'm looking it up, so I want to be right. Okay, so yeah, here we go. Okay, so they call it the MX Fuel brand. Okay. So get this. Originally, this thing was like $3,600 for one battery and this thing. Okay, that's $3,600. Okay. So with one of these batteries, and these batteries are supposed to be 1,800 watts each for the batteries, and you can put two in, so it'll put out 3,600 watts. So it's like, okay, all right. I mean, that's kind of like your little bit bigger than the small generator, like your next size up from the small generator. That's how many watts that will put out. Okay. I was so disappointed. And Milwaukee, please sponsor this so we can talk about more about this. But so it was originally $3,600. Okay. And I think based on this was released maybe 2 years ago, maybe before COVID. Mm-hmm. And it's just a big battery. I didn't buy a generator. I didn't buy this. I didn't buy it yet. No, we're just talking about it. So it's for 3,600 watts, but it doesn't let you. So if you have a draw less than 80 watts, it will shut off after an hour. So literally, you have to be pulling at least 81 watts or more for it to stay on, or it'll just shut itself off because it thinks it's whatever. So that's stupid. Okay, like they're like,
I mean, but it's 3,600 watts though. Like, why would you get something so large if you're only going to be pulling 80 watts?
it doesn't matter what you're doing with it. You just want it to work, right? Like for example, like yeah, maybe you've got a electric chainsaw you got plugged into it, or whatever, a leaf blower or whatever, right? Like or table saw, right? You got a nice table saw, you can plug it into that, right? It's like, but what if you just want to power shop lights, light stands, right? And you just need a giant battery, you're gonna plug a bunch of them into it, but then the sun rises, you know whatever, but you still want to charge your phone, right? It's not pulling 80 watts. Right? So why would it shut off? Why would you logically put that in there? Right? And it's like, yeah, if it's not pulling anything after 20 minutes, shut off. That's fine. But if you're pulling 1 amp or whatever, 1 watt to 10 watts, who cares? Just let it drain slowly. It doesn't matter. It's like the concept is like to save the battery. This giant freaking 1800 watt hour or 1800 watt hour battery, right? Like what's it going to do? It doesn't benefit anything. And like, okay, that's fine. It looks good. I mean, it's a good looking unit. And then it only has 2 outlets on it. 220 volt, 20 amp outlets, or not even 20 amp, 15 amp outlets. And it's like, okay, well, what if you have something bigger? What if you've got, something else? What if I just have more stuff? Why don't you give me 4 outlets? Why do I only have to have 2? Why do I now have to have a splitter on this thing that I just spent $3,600 on? Okay, like.
Okay. So it's $3,600
Mm-hmm.
and it's 1,800 watts.
Oh, that's what it was originally. Now you get a couple of free batteries with it, and it's dropped in price to $2,400. So yeah, I mean, they're not selling well. Let me put it that way. Like this is not a big seller for them at the moment. Probably because of all the things that I listed. Then the other thing that's on here,
maybe also because of the price.
No, because I mean, if you get, I mean, comparatively speaking, like it's usually $1 a watt, generally speaking, like when you're buying batteries. So,
but how much would that be in a generator though?
In a generator, like $1,000.
So like, yeah, so I can see why it's not selling a lot.
Yeah. But then totally the price of gas is kind of driving these up too. So, one half dozen the other, right? Like,
yeah, true.
So, okay. So then the worst thing about it, and I don't know if this is the worst or not, but it doesn't have pass-through charging. Okay. So I can't plug this into, let's say, a generator and use it as a filter. Right. So sometimes you just want clean power. I don't necessarily want to burn all the batteries down. So the unit will charge also if you plug it into a wall, or it'll provide power, but you can't do both.
Yeah.
And it's just that so what it is it's not a, like, it's like I get it. Like I understand, like, hey, we want to do one or the other, but that's just like, it's gatekeeping. Okay, so the engineers who designed this are gatekeeping this tool, right? So they've decided that you will only use it in this one way, and you can never use it for anything else. And we've not built it robust enough to handle that, which is dumb because you're charging $3,600 for it.
Yeah, because that's totally what they're doing. It's just that they're protecting the battery so it can last as long, and they cut out all the things most people probably would want, but it's still functional.
Yeah. So, and as I said, like it launched at like $3,600, might have been less, whatever, but it came with one battery and this unit. So now it comes with 2 of the big size battery, 1 of the slim size batteries for $24.99. So $2,500. So that's how poorly they've been selling. It's just to clean up my point. Okay. So it's, I mean, whatever, it's fine.
It doesn't sound like it's fine.
It's annoying because it's like, hey, this might be exactly what I could use on my job sites now, and it's a turd, right? Like it'll work, but it's also big. It's also like, to the charging aspect of it is like, I don't know how long it's gonna last, and it's two outlets, right? Like I can't hook up anything else bigger than that. I can't hook up a 240 volt tool or anything like that. I've got 2 15 amp 120 volt outlets.
Yeah.
So Yeah.
Yeah,
It's a
but
bunch of it's a bunch.
if you're gonna look for a whole battery version, yeah, it's gonna be expensive. You know it.
Well, I know. I mean, but again, if you go to, Harbor Freight and buy a Predator for 549, I mean, it might last you 10 years or it might last you, 2 weeks. You don't know.
Yeah,
It
you just
just
never
depends.
know. Yeah, you're right about
Right.
that.
And
The only
where
thing I ever got from Harbor Freight that
Mm,
lasted
mm.
was a 3-ton car jack and some assorted bits for a screwdriver.
Yeah, but those are also things that you don't care about. Like,
Yeah, but they lasted though. Like
oh yeah, I mean,
it's never got screwed out or none of that stuff.
that's good.
Yeah, it's pretty. Yeah, they lasted. Yeah.
Let's see here.
Harbor
So,
Freight.
do you have any other points you want to discuss this evening?
No, man. Actually, actually, golly, I said actually a bunch of times
Yeah,
right
you
there.
did. That was like 6 times in
So,
32 seconds. Yeah.
what I
So
was trying to say,
merds are hard. I get it.
what we end up speaking about today, actually, what we end up speaking about today made all my points.
Oh, good. Good. Yeah. And as far as like the gas prices and all that, like, there's not much we can do about them. I hope. I don't know. I mean, I honestly, I think Newsom is pandering. Like, I think that's what it is. I think this, well, it reminds me of that movie, I think it was called The Candidate with Robin Williams or something like that, or where he was playing a comedian who's running for like kind of a Jon Stewart character, and he was running for president, and he said, politicians and diapers should be changed often and for the same reason.
Yeah, big facts there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So.
but the thing is, he probably is pandering, but if he does make something come through, I appreciate the gesture.
Yeah. I
do.
don't know if I appreciate the gesture. I'd appreciate it if he took some actual steps to reduce, spending in California to try to rein in the special interests and the special pork that gets put into every budget, and the way our legislature is an 18-year path. You go from the assembly to the Senate, and then you run for local office, and you try to take over whatever else, and then you try to go with the big guns when it's your turn. It's all a predetermined cycle. Because watch, next year, or after Newsom leaves office, it'll probably be Devin Nunes, he's been a poster child for the Democratic Party for, I don't know, for like 20 years at this point. And like, you're just going to see like the same names just keep popping up over and over and over through the California electorate. And it's like, oh, you just got to you like, the way it works is you just, like, what is it? Like 4 terms in the assembly and then 2 terms in the Senate. And then you're you kind of make the rounds and all the mayoral candidacies, and you do all that. And then it's like, oh, and then you get the chomp, you get a bite at the apple of the governorship. So it's like, it's literally just a line. There's no democracy involved at this point, So really, California is not it's a one party state essentially. So
you probably can say that by every state in the union.
Yeah, I don't think I'm
what
lying.
You just said like that. What you said right now sounds exactly what happens in Texas.
Yep.
Everybody's groomed to be the next Republican governor.
Yep.
You could say that about New York.
Mm-hmm.
There's just as flashy as over here.
Yeah.
But actually flashier, because New York is it's New York, right? That's the capital.
Yeah. No.
Oh, now
Albany's
the
capital of New York.
But he's always in.
Well, yeah, because that's where his constituents are. Like,
right.
Those
Unlike
people voted him in.
Never in. You don't see him in Hollywood,
no,
LA, and all that.
No.
But yeah, like I said, they're more glitzy. So you can say that pretty much by any state, But like I said, if they do something while they're here, and if he did this to me, we all know he's not going to lower the prices. We all know the cost of living here is not just going to be mandated to come down. So you don't even think to wish for that stuff, right?
That's what I'm saying. We need an earthquake. We need to remind people what sucks about California. We need a big one.
We need to remind people what sucks about California, where people can't afford homes.
No, because they still want to live here. We want to remind them why they don't want to live here. Like the Midwest does that really well every year. Tornado season. It's a whole season named after it. Florida. Hey, nobody wants to live here. You got a big old hurricane. It comes down, takes out everybody's roof every 5, 10, 10 years, right? California hasn't had a big earthquake since the Ridgecrest earthquake in 2018. And that one, it hit Ridgecrest. Nobody gave a shit. You know what I mean? Like it was a 4-pointer when it got back down to here. It's like you get an 8-pointer in Northridge again. Ooh, boy, you're going to see people running for the hills. It's going to shut down a whole bunch of shit.
But they'll be back.
It's
California.
I mean, if you get hit by I got to say, you're right. They will be back after 1. You get hit by 2 or 3. People stop. People get the message.
Get out.
Get out. Oh man, I love California, but it's there's too many people. There's too many people. I guess there's too many people everywhere. Shit, man. God's already trying to take care of that. They gave us a pandemic.
Right. Jeez.
So we had what did we have? We had how many of the plagues did we have so far? We had the pandemic, firstborn, right? Is that one of them? Locusts. I think we got what's the other one? I forgot all the plagues, man. I haven't been.
Oh my God.
Oh.
Right. You know what? If you really would have made that correlate, it would have tripped me out right now. It would have tripped me out. I'm like, oh my God, he's right.
Yeah.
It's the end, people.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we got World War III brewing, right? Like, I mean, the only reason we haven't entered World War III officially is because Putin's a moron.
Bro, it has really become a big fiasco over there.
Right? Like
it really has. Now, people are still losing their lives, so we're not talking about
we're not trying to make light of that, but
no, we're talking about the actual war itself, or whatever this is. It is really a fiasco, and people are losing their lives to a fiasco, and that's horrible.
And that's horrible. I mean, yeah. I mean, I don't know if you saw the video where the the Ukrainian soldiers were kneecapping the Russian soldiers while they were zip tied, had their hands zip tied. No. I mean, it's a war crime.
Wow.
Yeah, you can't do that. But at the same time, I'm like, yeah, you know what it was? It's the same like justification when I heard that story about the dad who caught the guy raping his 5-year-old daughter and just beat him to death.
Woo!
Did you hear about that one? It was like a couple years ago, like 5 years ago.
God.
And of course it was in Texas.
I don't know, man.
Yeah. Well, he beat him to death. He called 911. And the guy was still alive technically. But then they were like it hit the news because they were refusing to press charges. The cops were like, we're not pressing charges.
Who's gonna press charges on that?
Right? Like what? Give me the pro-child rape argument, please. Please give me that argument,
bro. Like, and that's the thing they would completely ignore, because that's how you have to do as a defense lawyer, right? Mm-hmm. They would completely ignore the act of why this dude got his ass beat to death. They're gonna just talk about him getting beat to death. Yeah. It's like, well, there was a point where you could have stopped and detained.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing, right? Like, so he was alive when he called 911. So that was like his only.
Yeah, I wanted him to hear him. Yeah. I wanted to hear that he's alive, that there's somebody is here, and I whooped his ass to death. I want you to know. Is he alive, sir? At the moment.
Yeah, he may not be for long. You better get here quick. We're 20 minutes away.
At the moment, he's alive. Yeah, right now. How long does it take to get here? 15 minutes? Oh, that's more than enough time. More than enough.
Oh, yeah. I mean, and I was like, you read that and you're like, damn, that dude died. But you know what? I don't feel bad. Like it's like oh, any loss. I hate people when they're like, any loss of life is too much. I'm like, no. There's plenty of people who are wasting space, wasting air, and that was one of them. You know, like.
And as much I want to agree with that statement, you know what I mean? But it's just like there's some lines you just don't cross.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like there's a line for everything. Everything has its limit. Even a person's life. There's a limit to a person's life.
Yep.
It really is. And it's if I'm choosing my life over you, you're gonna kill me or something, it's gonna be me. It's not gonna be me. It's gonna be me or you.
Yeah, it's you or me. It's you.
You know what I'm saying? And
yeah.
or
I'm gonna die trying to make it you. Either way, right? Like
we both dying. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Or anything dealing with my family.
Mm-hmm.
Like you. Yeah, man. That. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
And the thing is, I probably wouldn't even know that I murked the dude. I've been blacked out at the time, like read out, because I have no idea what I'm doing.
I have no memory.
Literally went insane.
Nope. Technically blacked out, saw red, can't remember anything.
It's like, why are all his fingernails missing? What happened? It's like, I have no idea.
Yep. Couldn't tell you.
That how you found him? That's probably how he came. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean,
I was in my room. I heard a scream and I teleported out here and there's a dead dude here in front of me. I don't know what happened.
I don't know what happened to him. I don't know why he's all mangled like that. I have no idea.
He's killing myself. Tucker and Dale versus Evil. These teenagers is on our property killing themselves.
Oh my God, man. But yeah. Crazy events.
I think that'll wrap up our show today. Thank y'all for listening to our show. We hope you enjoyed it as much as we enjoyed making it. And as always, think. It's not just a verb, it's a way of life.